start this? I'm going to start this with my walk. So before this, I took my dog down the street, and I live in the woods, and it can be a little bit dark and gloomy in the woods. We don't get as much daylight, but it is a magical place. And I was walking, and there was other messages that I had gotten about my path and my journey, and that you have to take one step at a time to get where you're going, and to be patient with your dreams and goals, and also your purpose. And I was walking, and I just kept feeling the need to talk about death and decay, because in all beauty of life has to come death and decay. And it's that natural process that is actually symbiotic, where we are going to be living and come into these vessels and these bodies of flesh, filled with our energy and our light source, so that we can be of bounty and we can be of light and be here and be activated with our life force. And as we journey in our bodies, whether you're a tree or a flower or a human or a cat or a dog, we are a container of matter. And it's a simple idea that we matter because we are matter, but we aren't just a dormant, dead matter. We are charged with the light force of energy, of the connectivity to the divine creator, to also the matter that is the flesh, that is the earth, that is our creation from our ancestors, that is passed down in our genes. And the process of understanding that we matter is really important, because some of us lose hope and feel like we don't matter. And we walk our life path going and doing work for things that don't matter to us. We continually chase the dollar, or we try to find something that interests somebody else because it gives us money, or it gives us fame, or it gives us some type of luxury lifestyle that we desire. And in the pursuit of this luxury, we are losing the essence of having the purpose. And time will just slowly slip into the what's coming phase, and not really truly being in the here now and being of service and matter. 444. So as I'm walking, sorry, I got something in my left eye. And it seems simple, and maybe this just seems like, oh, this is something I've heard before. But it's that we are sometimes avoiding our shadow work. And sometimes we're afraid to look at ourselves in the mirror and look at the matter and see the aging process in our eyes, or see the emotion in our eyes, or see what really we are. When we look into the mirror, it's a reflection of where you are right now. And it's sad when I think about the judgment I set upon myself with my aging process, or with my body template, or with whatever I'm seeing in the mirror, or what I'm looking at in my reality that doesn't make me feel love, because I'm judging myself based on other people's matter and other people's purpose and other people's beauty and perfection. And it's important that we show each other our flaws. And I think it's important that we allow ourselves to journey on the dark side. As much as we are journeying with love and light, there is a process of this life where we know we were born, we're going to live, we're going to matter, we're going to do something here. We're set here to matter, to be of service, or to do this work. And then we will drop off, our light source is gone, and then we will become dark matter. And what they were showing me was like this tree branch that grew from the tree, and it was absorbing the sunlight. It was creating shelter. It was a home for the birds. This branch had all of this purpose as it held onto the tree. And then as soon as the windstorm came and destruction came and this fury came, it just fell and dropped to the ground. And it departed from its source. It departed from its mother tree. Its life force was ripped off, and it now lay on the ground as I step on it, and it's slowly getting deeper and deeper into the earth, and it doesn't matter anymore. In its eyes, it's like, well, I'm not part of this tree. I'm not serving the tree anymore. I don't matter anymore. I'm just a dead piece of branch that fell to the ground. And then I look at it, but I'm like, you're decaying. You're merging with the earth. You are becoming another layer of matter that matters. And so it's like, even if you feel like your one purpose was to be that branch of this tree, we're all of the same makeup. And that tree came from this earth, and it will return to this earth. And the branch that broke off early is returning early, yet there's still more branches there to help that tree grow and to flourish. So we are all part of this tree. And if one of those branches falls and decays, it's creating fertilizer. It's creating the black earth, the decay. And the blackest fertilizer or dirt, earth matter is so important for gardeners. Like, it is the darker and the richer that soil, the more it's going to nourish this new plant that we're planting. So in the decaying process, the more decayed you are, the more particleized, the more broken matter you are from your original source of where you just become earth, then you can be fed into what a seed is that can then be planted into that decay, which is just matter. This earth is just earth matter, and the decaying and the creation to feed new life. And the story that came from this, as I'm walking down the street, I'm thinking about my journey, and I'm thinking about other people's journey and our passions and our purpose and why we feel that we matter. And it felt to me like I am placed here now to pave the way for the future generations, as my ancestors, my father, who is the owl, who speaks to me through the owls, and he spoke to me last night and this morning about your ancestors, the ones who have left legacy for you, or have paved a pathway. Literally, this pathway on this house was my dad's back in the 70s. And that road that I was walking upon was the road he drove me and my sister up and down. He paved the way for me to be here now. He gave life source to me. He paved the way. He is now considered my ancestors. And then he left me here now to walk a path and to be of service. And I have to watch his story now. I have to think about his legacy. I have to think about his purpose in the tree. And when his branch fell, because he passed away in 2020, and how we're still adjusting to him falling and not being part of our tree, and that he is becoming one with the earth again, and that his light has left and gone back to his original source. And it's the ancestral journey where we are walking now, becoming our future ancestors. And in this moment, if you're feeling like you don't matter, feel the motion of your ancestors' footsteps in the past that we're creating and journeying here, doing lessons and karmic work and paving the road for us to be here now. There's a reason you were born into that body that you look at in that mirror. There's a reason you chose this body, and that you do matter, and that you matter because you were created. And we were created to continue the cycle of evolution of, I call it the human force, or I did a blog post about it. And it really does, it makes me upset to feel the energy of those who feel like they don't matter, and to watch them sit and decay as they're still living, as they have purpose, and they're just waiting for for somebody else to do it for them, or that they don't matter, or that they're having suicidal thoughts, or that they are starving themselves. It's like, you are matter. You are here now. And it's up to you to decide if you are going to be a living life force legend, or if you are going to be a lazy, unambitious soul who will just lay dormant and slowly decay, like a way that the branch fell on a wire and it didn't really touch the ground because it's not ready to quite become matter yet and rebirth and become of service in the earth matter. It's like, I'm just going to hang on this wire and my decay process will be less. Even though I'm falling, and I chose to fall, it's like, you're going to get to the ground at some point. You're going to have to understand that you could have purpose and stay attached to the tree of life. You could have purpose and fight through the windstorm, and you can say, I want to stay on this tree of life, and I want to have purpose, and I want to be a branch and of this, and this is the analogy, I guess, is the tree and the branch. And then maybe when the God force says it's your time to go, and the wind takes you and you break off and you fall to the ground, that you will don't really have a choice. It's your time. And it's not really up to us when it's our time to go. It's the God force. It's in the moment that you are here right now in this body, in this matter, on this branch, and that your life does matter. You are matter, so therefore you matter. So when I was pursuing this journey of speaking my truth with Rose Apple Sage, it's because I was dangling from this tree, questioning why I matter. What do I have to say? What is it that makes me want to be part of this tree of life? What service am I? And I had to evaluate myself and realize that I was a branch on a tree. I wasn't absent of this community, of this life force, that I am part of the earth and I am part of the stars, and that I'm now realizing my purpose and my journey. And no matter how much I try to control it, it always has a way of returning to its divine purpose. And I may not know exactly what the future holds. I may not fully understand, but I get hints and I get inspiration and I get encouraged and I get affirmations of, yes, keep going, that's it, but and the one thing that I keep getting told is to set a stage. And I'm not quite sure what that means, but I feel like I'm supposed to be creating a stage for people to speak their truth. And if it's just a simple time for this podcast to just be a platform for you to speak your truth, tell your stories, and encourage others to keep going and to fight to find their purpose and their joy and their life force, and to hang on to that tree, because we are here and we need to be a great ancestor, the great ones who created a pathway for our future generations to walk upon, that we didn't give up, and we didn't allow these big structures and programs that were established with the sole, purpose of money, of power, of control and fear. Like, this container over here was created and masterminded, and we don't have to be part of that. What part of us came here, or who came here to pave a way for the future light workers, or the future earth beings that came here not to destroy this earth, but of humans with purpose of helping to establish a healthy relationship with our planet. And it is that simple to say, I am going to live today not in destruction mind, not of material mind, but I'm going to live today in a day of love and servitude and joy and motivation, where my heart is singing and my heart is open, and I am love, I am light, I am living my best life, because I am paving a way for my children to watch so that they can live the best life, or that we can set by example, or we can do what we can do. And knowing we're not perfect, and that we have little tiny baby deaths all the time, that we are losing and shedding pieces of ourselves all the time because they're not serving you. Therefore, that branch of you has to go. And if it's a part of you that you need to let go and let that rot into a matter or into the earth, let it go. And imagine it just leaving you, breaking off of you and decaying, and let new branches come and have a new perspective and a new opportunity. So with death and rebirth, we're always making new branches. We're always replenishing. We are always renewing. But if everything just stayed, we would be so crowded, and the tree would get too heavy and it would fall. So it's like, in a way, allow the parts of those who need to go, who need to pass on, of the aspects of self that need to leave. Let it go. Let it be okay. And don't let it get in the way by fear. If your fear of death is driving you to do something or to take something that you don't believe in, or doesn't feel good in your heart, ask yourself, am I really that afraid to die? Is this fear mongrel that's talking to me really going to create this decision for me because now I'm scared? Does that feel good? Is that the decision that I get to make now? Or am I going to be led by divine love? Am I going to be led by this force of light and understanding that it's always going to be in divine order, and that we have to choose who is our master? Is it the money? Is it luxury? Is it this game that we're all playing here right now? This stuff that we're doing? Or is it the love of our planet and our divine code that is your purpose and your passion, and that you don't have to have the most stuff to win. You have to be solely rooted in why you came here, and set the path so that you can excel in this life, and that so your karmic traits can excel your ancestral path. And so the children that are coming and then coming again and again and again will be learning through us now, because we are our ancestors. We are reliving and trying to be better and not make the same mistakes. So if it doesn't feel good and you're making these alterations in the knitting that are messy, unknit that part and start over again and fix that little thing. Take the knot out, make it flow. So, yeah, the false gods, and that really just came with my desire to have success, or to have luxury, or financial freedom. And I realized that that's an illusion. As soon as some people feel like they've made it and they have everything that they want and they've obtained all the money that they needed, and they've worked so hard and put all their focus into that, they realize that they missed this aspect of themselves that was their spiritual self or their family. because they were going toward this thing. And so in reality, it's an illusion. You spend all your energy creating this thing, this structure that you put all your energy into. And guess what? That decays. That literally can burn to the ground, decay into the earth, be taken from somebody. You could lose it. You could go bankrupt. It's an illusion. Your attachment to luxury is an illusion, because that is what we're seeing. That's what we think is happiness, because that's what they tell us. And when you realize that you can obtain so much and still be miserable, it makes you really want to live a better today. And it makes you want to say, I really want to do more nature walks, because that feels good. And when I do that, you're going to be blessed with fresh air and health and vitality and clarity and nature and nurturing yourself. And so the blessings of me spending an hour walking in the morning versus me sucking down 3 cups of coffee and taking notes on my business plan, and freaking out about it because I don't have anything to grab onto, because it's this idea, but it's nothing that I can really just grab. So it's knowing that after you take the time to nurture and find your truth, find your direction, then the business plan and the financial goals will be in alignment, because it's just a natural progression of who you are. And it's where you're putting your energy and your flow and your creativity and your process of growth will be balanced. So don't get me wrong, but it's like, if we're just going to have too much over here, less of this, I mean, we gotta remember to feel into what we're doing. If we start getting wobbly because we're getting way too over here and our body's aching and we're stressed out and something's not right with our physical selves, something's probably not right with your physical action. So check in with that and take a minute or a day or two and check in with yourself. And then if you're getting way too into the spiritual, esoteric, out of body, glorious vibrations that are into these other realms, come back to earth so that you can matter here as a human, because there's a reason we're here. So let's matter. Let's be our future ancestors that set a legacy and set a pathway for greatness, because what else should be driving us than that? Than saying, when I leave, what did I do that made me know my purpose, and that every movement that I did was full of gratitude and joy and love. And knowing that created this pathway that allowed our future children's children to say, my ancestors created this, whatever that is, and we follow in their footsteps. So be careful about your footsteps. Careful how you're walking. Careful where you're placing your next step forward. And because it could just be that you're going to step off a cliff and you're not going to be any good to anybody. So really be careful of the direction that you're taking, and climb mountains and go through the valley and explore and see it all, and enjoy the journey. Simple, have purpose. I think that is what I needed to say. I hope that you guys are having a blessed day, and that nature is able to speak to you, even if it's the littlest thing. So it's been my pleasure to share my morning with you and my experience, and I will continue to share. And I hope you do too. If you want to be on a podcast video with me and tell your stories, message me and let's get together, and or digitally, virtually get together and share inspiration and help us to keep moving forward in a positive direction. So blessings and love. Thank you.